Guys, I have a question for you. Now, of course, this video, along with this entire debate, is completely opinion-based, okay? It's not really factual. But my question to you is, when it comes to women's basketball, what makes a woman a top, 10 player in your eyes? Okay, again, this is all opinion-based. What makes a woman basketball player great? Is it because she has a championship ring? Is it because she won trophies, medals? Is it because she has Olympic gold medal, Olympic silver, Olympic bronze? Again, what exactly makes a woman in basketball worthy of the top 10 collegiate basketball level players, or so on and so forth? What makes a woman basketball player the top 10 elite of all time WNBA player? Because a lot of people are upset, okay? A lot of Caitlin Clark fans and Indiana Fever fangirls are upset at Fox. Okay, again, a lot of Caitlin Clark fans are at odds, okay, because Fox just released a list of their all-time NCAA women basketball players, and they actually ranked her. I believe she's ranked at number 2. I'm gonna read it in this article, and they're saying, like, you know what? Well, it's because she never came out with a championship ring. If she would have had a championship ring, perhaps maybe she would be deserving of the number 1 ranking spot. And again, a lot of people were like, you know what? Well, in the grand scheme of things, what really is a championship ring worth? This is an article brought to you by Sports Illustrated, okay, and it is titled, Caitlin Clark fans are at odds over Fox all-time NCAA women's basketball player ranking. The women's basketball world has been buzzing over a March 16th segment from ESPN where 3 analysts didn't rank Caitlin Clark, former Iowa Hawkeyes legend and current record holder for the most all-time points scored in NCAA D1 history among the top 5 women's basketball players of all time. So she didn't even rank in the top 5. I saw another listing because I was doing my research, of course, before I did this video, and they had her at number 2. They had Breanna Stewart as number 1 when it comes to female college basketball players and their skills, their levels, their overall, the overall ranking. And they was like, well, Breanna Stewart is first, and then I'll agree with you if you say Caitlin Clark is number 2. And a lot of people was mad at that list as well. This snubbing of Clark has been lamented by the basketball community, with WNBA legend Sue Bird confirming Clark's deserved place on this by saying in a March 20th episode of the A Touch More podcast that Clark is obviously special, definitely one of the greatest of all time. There's no way you're not taking Caitlin Clark in the top 5 in an all-time draft. And to me, there's no way you're not taking her up in the top 3. ESPN wasn't the only sports programming platform that did one of those lists. On March 22nd, Fox Sports released their ranking of the top 10 best women's college basketball players of all time and posted the results on Twitter. So here it is. This is the one. So this was actual Fox Sports. It says in the ranking, Clark was placed at number 2 all time, just behind UConn Huskies and New York Liberty legend Breanna Stewart. Okay, on Fox Sports top 10 all time women's college basketball players, they have ranked at number 1 Breanna Stewart, ranked number 2 Caitlin Clark, number 3 Diana Taurasi, number 4 Cheryl Miller, number 5 Chamaly Holtzclaw. I never heard of her. I'm sorry. Number 6, Maya Moore. Number 7, Brittany Griner. Number 8, Candace Parker. Number 9, Asia Wilson. And number 10, Lynette Woodward. Clark fans seem to disagree about where their superstar is placed on this ranking. Some are happy with her receiving the number 2 spot, especially after the aforementioned ESPN snub. So again, this is a little fun debate, okay, guys? We can't take these rankings too seriously, okay? Whether it be from Fox Sports or another source, right? Because again, this is all opinion based. But it got me thinking, it's like, well, what exactly makes a woman basketball player great? Is it because of her stamina, her endurance, her pure, raw athleticism, her talent, that raw power and strength, okay, that that endurance that she possesses on that court? Or is it because, she may just, let's be honest, okay? Again, this is how you got to look at it, okay? This is just my opinion. Again, this is an opinion-based video. Basketball is It's a team sport. Yes, you can have stars. Again, obviously, there's many stars. You can be the star of your team, right? You got 5 women on that court at any given time, and you can be that star. You can be that leading scorer. You can be that leading rebounder. You can be the leading person when it comes to assists, when it comes to blocks, when it comes to steals, etc., and so forth on. But again, because basketball is a team sport, you can be really, really good. I.e., Caitlin Clark, she's really, really good, and still not have a championship ring. You could still not have any titles or trophies. Okay, you can never have a natty, a national championship title, due to, again, basketball, fortunately and unfortunately, sorry, my voice is all over the place. It's the pollen this year, spring, I'm sorry. New Mexico weather is crazy. It's got me acting crazy. But again, fortunately and unfortunately, basketball is a team sport. So again, even though Caitlin Clark is really, really good, like she's very good, you got to give her that respect. You got to give her that, you got to acknowledge her level on that court and that her skills. The fact that she was a part of the Hawkeyes team, again, like it was some good girls on there. Okay, shout out to Gabby Marshall. Shout out to Kate Martin. But it's no contest. There was no debate that Caitlin Clark, when she was with the Iowa State Hawkeyes, okay, she was that girl. She was the leading scorer. She was the star of the team. And unfortunately, again, I'm not trying to say like everybody around her was busters. I'm not trying to clown them, but they were just not on that same elite level as Caitlin Clark, okay, in her collegiate level basketball career. And possibly, I'm not trying to blame nobody, but we got to keep it real. Due to them not being on her level of skill, especially when it came to that three, that logo paint, hitting them threes. Again, like she was the main woman on that team that was like known to do that. Okay, every now and then, Kate Martin gave us some, Gabby Marshall, perhaps another player. But again, that was like her. That was her thing. That was her niche. And it's like the fact that they never won a natty, a championship in her whole 4 years at being a state Iowa State Hawkeye. You can't discredit her and say like, that means like she's not a good basketball player. Because look, I'm gonna talk about her arch nemesis, okay, quote unquote. They're not, they're rivals, but they're not enemies, if you know what I mean. Again, this is completely basketball, being very competitive on that court. I understand it. I get it. Angel Reese got a natty. Angel Reese, when she was an LSU Tiger, she was able to win a championship ring. Okay, back in what, 2023? Okay, it's already been 2 years. That's crazy to me. That's so crazy to me. Like time is just flying by. And it's like the fact that Angel Reese herself is not on this list. She's not even in the top 10. Nobody has her in the top 10 of women's overall, NCAA women's collegiate basketball level top players or top scorers. Okay, even though she won a championship ring, a title, a national title with the LSU Tigers back in 2023. They beat Iowa. But you have someone who was on Iowa team, i.e. Caitlin Clark, and she actually made that list. And people are saying like, how dare y'all put her on this list? She don't even have a ring. She don't have a natty, a championship. But it's like, is a championship title the end all be all? Again, in my opinion, both yes and no. Because again, when you look at women's basketball, college basketball, or the professional level in the WNBA, all of these teams, be it just the 12 or now 13 teams right in the WNBA, or like the dozens, the hundreds of teams in women's collegiate level basketball, they're all competing with one another for what? It's not just to win games. It's not just to win points and be the leader in assists, be the leader in blocks, be the leader in rebounds, be the leading scorer. Okay, whether that be their team, their state, university, the university's history. The ultimate reason why all these women compete with one another, okay, be it again collegiate level or in the WNBA, is for the championship. Again, it's for the title. You want the title, okay? So it's like, for an example, I'm gonna take it even a little bit further. South Carolina Gamecocks, I just saw them defeat. In South Carolina Gamecocks, okay, guys, I just watched them defeat Indiana. They took 3 L's this past season. They took an L from UCLA. They lost to Texas Longhorns, and they lost to the UConn Huskies really bad. Okay, back in February last month. UConn Huskies destroyed them at their own court by 29 points, almost a 30-point loss deficit at their own territory, their own home court. But it's like, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter because why? But they're about to advance towards the the Elite Eight, the semifinals, and hopefully, potentially, I'm sure they will get into the finals and the Elite Four. Now, once they actually climb that mountain, they can continue to climb up that ladder. And let's say that they actually win in the Elite Four, they advance from the semifinals to the finals, and whoever they play in the finals, they win, they beat them ultimately, and then they actually get that the championship. They get that title, they get that ring, they get to say we are national champions. We defeated the best of the best all season long. So at the same time, I understand when people say like, you know what, if you ain't got a championship, if you ain't got a natty, you ain't got a ring, you ain't got a title, what good are you? But at the same time, basketball is very, very much both an individualistic sport and also a team sport. So it's like you can be giving it your all, okay? For example, Kiyomi McMillan, okay? She's a Rutgers player, okay? She plays for Rutgers University. Again, they're not like very well known when it comes to women's basketball. More than likely, she will be hitting the portal, okay? Let's be honest. Let's be real. But it's like, she wanted to be, very loyal to where she's from, New Jersey, the East Coast. She wanted to play for them. She's a phenomenal player. Like, her handles are like ridiculously good. But it's like, what good is it when you're the star of a team, but the people around you are, for a lack of a better word or term, busters? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, again, to me, in my opinion, what makes a woman a really good basketball player is a combination of those things, right? Again, the sore spot on Caitlin Clark's name, the sore spot on her legacy, that little taint, the little mustard stain on her white wife beater, is the fact that she doesn't have a championship. She doesn't have a ring. She never was able to actually come together with her team and take home that natty, okay, that title of you're a national champion. You defeated to all these teams, the good, the greats of the greats, and the little, irrelevant teams. But you beat them all in here. You are now a national championship. You got crowned. Okay, you like the queen of the basketball in the basketball world. That unfortunately never happened for Caitlin Clark because, again, her teammates just was not on her level. Now, had she had hit the transfer portal, but again, I understand she wanted to be loyal. She is from Iowa. She was born and raised in that state. But if she were to hit the transfer portal and went to, say, the South Carolina Gamecocks under Dawn Staley, or if she would have went to UConn under, Gino, or, under Kim Mulkey at LSU, if she would have been teammates with Angel Reese back in 2023, of course, obviously, she more than likely would have got a champion title, and she would have probably been more seen as more deserving of actually being in the top 10 women's NCAA collegiate level basketball, like the top players on that list. But a lot of people are like, you know what? Again, like, she's very good at what she does. We respect her talent as an individual basketball player. But the fact that you ain't got no ring, you ain't got no title, you ain't got no natty, she can't be on this list. And it's like, hey, again, this is all opinion based. Who am I to disagree with that opinion? Guys, comment down below your thoughts on Caitlin Clark and this entire, it's like, to me, it's an entertaining, lighthearted debate. Again, I see it both sides. I understand why people are upset that it was like, how could y'all even fix y'all face? How could you fix your mouth to put Caitlin Clark on this list knowing she ain't got no ring? But then other people are like, what? It's not just about the titles. It's not just about the ring. But ultimately it is, let's be honest. That's why we compete at the levels that we do. The NBA, they compete all season long. NFL, we compete all season long to get, that title. Again, comment down below your thoughts, guys, if Caitlin Clark is deserving of, being a top 10 women's collegiate level basketball player, despite not having a national championship title or ring. And also, what makes a woman a good basketball player to even be deserving on such a list? Comment down below.